Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Kristen, and today I'm going to share with you guys some more Dollar Tree fall DIYs. First DIY, I'll be using this 99-cent wood piece. This was from Michael's, and then I'm just grabbing a ton of these little pumpkins. I have had these, I want to say, for a year or two now. They either came in potpourri, someone said pine cones maybe, but I actually think I picked them up at a garage sale with like gems and pine cones and acorns and all kinds of things like that. But I'm just going to be piling them to one side of this little wood piece. And then I didn't know how many to do. I didn't know where to put them. And you could add more. I kind of added some extra like potpourri I had, and that was from Dollar Tree a year or so ago. This is just kind of out of my craft stash and some things that I wanted to use. So I'm just adding some potpourri filler. And then once that is all done, I'm going to be starting to finish using some of these fall rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree. I've had these rub-on transfers since last fall. I cannot find them this year, but I've seen many people haul them, and they have the exact same ones this year that they did last year. So I'm just adding a few of these. These were from like a Hello Autumn with leaves and some pumpkins and some birds. And then I'm just using this little crafter stick. This came with some different rub-on transfers from Amazon, and I'm just going to be rubbing some transfers all around the side of this. And that is all I did for this. These can be tricky when you start using them. I've used them on so many things. I think that just when you're using like paint or antique wax, like antique wax does not work for this at all. But if you're just using like plain wood, like white paint seems to work pretty well. It just depends. Chalk paint always works for me. And then if you're using like glassware or something like that, it always works really, really easy. So anyways, there's some tips, kind of, or me just kind of talking. And then I'm just adding a couple leaves to finish this off. DIY, actually the next two, I'm going to be using these little wood jars from Dollar Tree, and I just flipped them over and painted them white. On the back it says something about love. They were brown and white, and they had like foam flowers on them, and that's what they were before. I guess I don't have a before photo of these, but these were also just sitting around my craft room painted, and I never did anything with them. I'm using another rub-on transfer from Dollar Tree, and this one is one of my favorites. I think I picked up a ton of these last year, and I actually found two brand new ones from my craft stash. This is what it says: "You inspire me." So the back side is not that pretty. If you wanted to redo both sides, you absolutely could. I'm just showing you ways you can actually use these. And now I'm going to be adding some twine around the top, because who doesn't add just a little bit of twine around the tops of pretty much everything you craft with from Dollar Tree? I think it either has burlap, some twine, stickers, paint. I mean, if you're going to craft with Dollar Tree items, you got to use one of those. I'm not saying you have to, but sometimes you do. This one, I'm just using a little chalkboard pumpkin, and this was from Dollar Tree this year. And they came in a pack of 6 or 8, but they're little ornaments. I'm just going to be gluing that to the center. And then I had some stickers from, I want to say it was Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty sure it was Hobby Lobby. I'm going to be adding a little leaf sticker to the center of the pumpkin. And then I'm just going to be using, obviously, a little gingham bow for the top of this as well. This one, I'm using the same little jar along with this Dollar Tree rub-on transfer. So I picked this one up last year, but they do have it again this year. I didn't pick any more up because I knew I had at least 1 or 2 of these hanging around the house. And I've said in a lot of different videos, so if you're new, this is your first video you watch, I've said this multiple times, I'm just trying to use up a lot of the items that I already have, or even just turning non-fall things or non-fall decor items from Dollar Tree into fall. And it is possible. These were not fall, and we are making them fall. So once this is done, I'm just going to make a tiny little bow with some twine. Top this little guy off. I'm just going, or a girl, little jar. Guess it's not really a boy or a girl. It's just a little jar. Adding a leaf to the top, and this is completed. DIY, I'm using this little wood pumpkin. This was from Family Dollar. It was $1.25, so pretty much the same price, exact same price as Dollar Tree. And then I'm using one of these Dollar Tree rub-on transfers. I know some people are like, you use these way too much. I love using these. I think they're fun. And if you don't want to buy a Cricut or stencils or anything like that, I just think this kind of brings out like a nice little high-end piece, or it kind of just makes everything just look a little bit nicer without having to spend a ton of money. Granted, if you do have stencils, you can use them more than one time, and these are obviously only a one-time use. But anyways, I love using these. They are super fun, and I will use them any chance I get. I only have like a ton. Like I have a ton of rub-on transfers. Anytime I see them at Dollar Tree, I have to pick up at least 1 or 2 or 5. Since this was round, the rub-on transfer would not fit all on here, so I did end up just cutting some small pieces to add to the empty space. Then I just had a gingham bow with some of this little straw from a different project. So I just added it to this one, and that is all I did for this. Next one, I'm just using this wooden pumpkin. This was from last year. Do they have them this year? I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen them at my Dollar Tree. I'm just using some scrapbook paper from Echo Park. I purchased this from moredecalnddecor.com from Liz. She also has a YouTube channel, but she also sells some really great like wood pieces that she makes, and Echo Park scrapbook paper. So I'm just using this. I kind of creased it down so I would be able to cut it and figure out where it was going to be. It wasn't the most perfect cuts, so I did kind of piece things together or add some leaves or just kind of cover up some of the unnecessary. And then once that was done, I decided just to add some leaves and that bow. I like the bows that come with these, so I always just save them and then add them later on. Once this was just a little more extra. You could paint this pumpkin, you could stain this pumpkin. I just choose to leave it with the faux plain all natural wood. I just really like the way that looks. And these leaves I think came from a pumpkin pick from Walmart. To top this off, I'm going to be putting this Thankful leather piece. I was going to call it galvanized or burlap. It's definitely leather to the center of this, and that is all I did for this. I think this is really cute. I think I did say that was all I did, and then I forgot I added the leather piece. So there you go. DIY, I'm going to be using 2 of these signs. These are also from this year, and they were really cute the way they were. I thought I maybe would leave them, but I decided to tear them apart and make them a project. So this first one came off really nice, and the second centerpiece did not come off well, although I was being careful because I did want to reuse the centers of these once they're pulled off. So I'm just going to end up painting them. I started off painting both of them white, as you're going to see in a second, and then I decided that I wanted to add a little bit of color to one of them. So one, I did 2 or 3 coats of this Waverly chalk paint just to cover up everything that was already on there, and then I'm just going to be using the Agave by Waverly to paint the other one. I love this color. I think this is really, really pretty. And I think it's just kind of fall. I feel like this color is kind of like coming to like spring and then fall as well. I really like this one. So second one is going to be this color. It was dry, and yes, I used my good old blow dryer or a hair dryer. That's what I used. You can use you could actually use whatever you wanted. I choose to use a hair dryer. I have an old one laying around. It works great and it dries paint very, very quickly. So with the black and white buffalo check, I decided to go with that Agave for the center. And then I had this Dollar General Fall Breeze and Autumn Leaves sign. This was from last year as well. And I kind of was trying to make sure this was going to fit. The leaves did go off just a tiny bit, or like the edges, but I still thought it was really cute. So I'm just going to be hot gluing it right to the center, and that is all I did for the first one. I'm just going to be using that white centerpiece, and I'm going to be gluing it down. Now, I know I kind of liked the way it was the first time around, but I don't know. You can always go buy another one. I decided to go with this Give Thanks pumpkin pie, and I'm going to be taking that and gluing it to the side. First thing I did was, this is actually pre-cut vinyl. It was from the Target dollar spot. I want to say last year, maybe the year before, but they had pre-cut vinyl. And I thought this pumpkin spice with these cute little pumpkins, this is kind of like a copper color. So I was like, this is really cute. We have to use this, or I have to use this. And I might as well, because I don't know what else I would have used it for. And then, so anyways, using my transfer tape from Cricut, putting this on here, and then along with these really cute pumpkins. And then, like I said, gluing that pumpkin pie to the edge. That is all I did for this. But you guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I would love if you consider sticking around and subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!